I'm back. If you guys don't know, I went and got my wisdom teeth removed. I will say that surgery wasn't really that painful. You don't really remember anything whenever you're in there and, you know, a bit afterwards because you're completely cracked out of your mind. But man, that night/day after, you better hope to God those painkillers don't ever wear off. Even right now, I'm still recovering. Literally, as I'm making this video, I am very whoopy. I guess is the word to use. I'm sitting in my chair and I swear my room is spinning. I'm having to like pretty much close my eyes to talk at the moment. But I wanted to make a very quick, simple, sweet, to the point, classic OP kind of video over the new buffs that just came out on JP. Now, I wouldn't really cover Dream Awakenings or buffs or anything like that unless they were like crossover stuff, because most of the time they're absolute dog water. But this time around, we have a pretty hefty lineup coming out, and you probably already saw it in the thumbnail. And oh my God, is my mouth bleeding now? False alarm, false alarm. Just thought I'd taste the blood there for a second. I'm sorry. We got Hart, Miranda, VoltielR, and Priscilla. Supports and tanks are always so much better at getting Dream Awakenings than DPS characters, because DPS characters will never be able to match Saito Hajime. And, you know, everybody loves Haruto. Even nowadays, he's still pretty solid. Nothing to his Archgen, which didn't really need to be touched at all. It was mainly just his modifiers. He did get a buff to his duration, which is very welcomed in my opinion. And his Dream Awakenings are pretty solid, specifically his Earth Dream, giving all Earth allies 70% damage. And he also gets damage when enemies are under 30% HP. Some people are just like, oh, this is whatever, it's garbage. But like, that's pretty freaking good to me, man. 70% earth damage. I mean, of course it's not 100, but 70% is nothing to laugh about. That's so much extra DPS on top of the fact that he has the 50% arts damage buff on his art. Miranda is also just getting buffs across the board. We actually did get a buff to her barrier though. We have the Earth Dream and the Light Dream. The Earth Dream states that you get 100 arc gauge at the start of the quest and you get physical res 20%. Actually, not too bad. Miranda is known as the magic taunt tank. Like, she's just extremely potent against any kind of magic damage, which most bosses in this game, their art, super art, big attacks, whatever you want to call them, are magic damage, which is very beneficial for Miranda because of course she just tanks against magic damage. It doesn't mean to say that there aren't physical boss attacks, because there are, and having its physical res kind of helps her with a bit more damage mitigation whenever you do fight those bosses, because whenever you fight a physical boss, Miranda kind of gets absolutely cucked since she is all about negating magic damage, so all of her passive DRs is completely out the window. The next thing about Miranda is that she is able to okay, hold on just a second. Next thing about Miranda is the Light Dream. The Light Dream gives herself 100 arc gauge instead of 50 from her unique passive and gives her passive arts by 1. This unique passive is referring to Miranda pressing the oh shit button whenever she gets hit by direct damage, which usually just winds up killing your team. If she takes direct damage, which if she does take direct damage, she also will probably just die. She stops redirecting damage to herself, so everyone starts taking damage again, but she gains 50 arc gauge. This makes it to where she gains 100. I still don't think that's best case scenario. Now, with the 100 arts though, from this passive, it's good because she can go right into her art, and her art does actually provide yourself with a barrier, and she's going to be redirecting damage again. However, it's nowhere near as good as the true art. So I personally would just stay away. I don't think the Light Dream is that good at all. Earth Dream seeming a bit better. Also, it just makes her a bit faster. Next is VoltielR, literally bringing out both takes from Phantom Snipers here, and I have been extremely excited about VoltielR getting his Dream Awakening. I love the taunt tanks. I think they're some of the coolest characters in this game apart from Thetis because he does no damage. Volti though, you know, whenever he came out, he had the big boom, big gun. Your boy likes guns. I'm from America. So I'm hoping that we're gonna see some craziness here, and already looking at it, we're seeing modifier buffs across the board. We're seeing duration buffs and even a barrier buff as well. Very good stuff. Verdant Dream, when near death, increase own damage res by 20%, increase earth allies arts by 2 per second. Jesus Christ, that is broken. I love the DR when near death because that stacks directly with Truth of Eternity. We love Truth of Eternity over here, and this just makes him even more of a powerhouse than what he already was. I mean, if you guys don't know, VoltielR by default does have the physical res built into the kit. That's one of his main passives. He has 20% physical res, and whenever he is below 50% HP, he gives himself 20% DR already. So this is a further increase to that DR buff, giving himself now 40% DR. If you have Truth of Eternity on him, what is that? An extra 20% as well. So you're going to be having 60% DR. If you're fighting a physical boss, you have 80% DR passively just from his crest slot, and VoltielR. That is insane. This is why I love these guys getting Dream Awakenings, because they're taunt tanks, they're more support type characters, they don't rely on damage to really get value. This is where Dream Awakenings shine the most. This is Water Priscilla. Water Priscilla, kind of a little bit more of a damaging character, but also I believe is a very strong support unit for a lot of people out there, especially if you just start playing the game and you have this girl in your box. Why not throw her on? She actually does a lot. She's kind of an all-rounder, but she does so much that she's always going to benefit you. One thing I do not like is that we didn't get a buff to the physical damage on True Art. I would have loved to see this go all the way up to 100%, but it's only at 50 still, which is kind of a little bit, you know, a little bit sad to me. We did get a buff to water res down. Love that. And we also got a buff to the duration of the water res down. For the Dream Evolutions though, we have two, the Water and Dark Dream arts buff, and we have an accuracy buff for the Water Dream, and the Dark Dream is changing the Phantom Bullet multiplier to 200,000%, and you also get the ratio passive. I remember this Phantom Bullet taking forever to come out, so it sucks if you're going to try to nuke with this, but I mean, 200k multiplier, that's not bad. You know, it's really not. 200k is very high. I don't know what she's going to be able to really do with 200k multiplier, especially on such a slow animation, but maybe there's something out there she's going to be able to blow up. And now, ladies and gentlemen, that is actually it for this video. I did not realize how bad of a decision this was for me to record. I'm going to be honest. I thought I was okay. I'm not okay. I need to go lay back down like instantly. You guys can tell me down below what you all think about these buffs. I'm hoping this video will be able to come out tomorrow, which is going to be Friday. If not Friday, hopefully I'm able to edit this video by Saturday and get it out for y'all. But yeah, your boy's gonna go lay back down. I should have never got back up. Oh my lord. Thank you all so much though. It's your boy P. There's a video popping up on your screen right now. I think the last video I made before my surgery was the tier list video. You can go check that out. And one more thing for y'all leave. Don't forget to drink water.